Hi, welcome back or welcome to my channel. If you're new, my name is Laura. Hi, hello, welcome. Today we're actually doing another collab video with Hayleigh. My soul sister would not be my channel without having Hayleigh in a video at some point within the month. So if you're unfamiliar with Hayleigh, I'm going to have her linked in the cards and in the description box below. And today we are both doing a palette bingo using our torture palettes, and I don't want to have any spoilers of what's inside of here, so I'm going to put up a picture here of what my torture palette looks like. If you're unfamiliar, again, I will link it in the cards and down in the description box below. Basically, Hayleigh and I both picked out 15 shades of eyeshadow that intimidate us, and we keep them for fantasy self us. So these are all shades that very much intimidate me, and there's a lot of dark shadows in here. And I am nervous about this palette bingo, and I'm very, very nervous. So I have numbers 1 through 15 in my Pretty Random app. That's just the random number generator that I choose to use. I'm going to pick 5 numbers, and I'm going to swatch all of the colors out and then share what those colors are. So I'm going to have numbers 4, 13, 8, 3, and the last one is 6. So I'm so nervous about this. So I'm going to swatch these and I'll be right back. I have like 2 color options inside of my torture palette. It's like blues or it's reds, and then I'm shocked. I got a whole lot of like warm tones. There is a shadow down here. I know it's hard to see. It's ColourPop Tickle, but I am a little nervous about using all of these shades. So what I have here is Urban Decay Punk Rock from the Heavy Metals palette. Here I have Kaleidos Futurism 4. It's the discontinued one. This is the shade this is the shade Game Over. Then I have the Dandelions Company shade in Dryad. Then down here is the Urban Decay Heavy Metals palette. Again, this is the shade After Party. And then I have a ColourPop single in Tickled. And I'm nervous. I'm nervous about this. However, I feel like this is pretty cohesive, which is very surprising. But I think I can make a pretty cohesive look with this. So I'm going to zoom you in. I already have eye primer on that needs to get blended out, but we're going to get started. I'm so darn nervous. We're going to start off with Game Over. That is the red shade. And we're just going to... I'm so nervous. I'm going to tap this pretty low in the crease because I am going to just blend this out and blend this up into the eye look. This is essentially going to be my crease shade. Okay, now that we have kind of the groundwork of this done, I'm just going to take a fluffy brush with no product and start blending this upward. I'm actually surprised with how I like this. I feel like in my monitor it looks a lot more intense than how I feel like it's coming off in real life. So, you know. I'm going to go in with After Party, which is the like metallic red shade, and we're going to tuck that on the outer corner, kind of as the outer V shade, you know. The amount of regret that I have for not doing my base last. Okay, and then I'm going to blend out with the brush that we used with the first shade, the red. I mean, they're both kind of reds, but the matte red. Man, I am usually not, I don't normally do like all full-on red looks, but that's what we're working with. Then I'm going to take Punk Rock, which is this top shade. It's like kind of like a purpley. We're just going to tap this in on the center, like half of the lid. This is probably like the most like, yeah, that's what I would have done too, kind of look. And I'm fine with that. I don't feel like being adventurous right now, especially this shade that I'm using right now. This is like my least favorite shade. Okay, now that we've sufficiently looked horrible with that blending, we're going to take the initial blending brush and buff out the edges, probably get red way too high up. So I'm taking, oh gosh, icicles are falling off my roof and that just scared the crap out of me. I'm taking the brush with nothing on it and just working the red to hopefully just blend out, because that's very punchy. Kind of just want to shear it out a bit. Not bad at all, not bad at all. There's definitely quite a bit of fallout. I don't know if you can really tell, but my under eyes were concealed and now they're just not. I am going to just go in with the 𝙤𝙢 shade. Actually, no. I am going to go in with Punk Rock first, and we're going to tuck that on the lower lash line. I'm going to blend it out with 𝙤𝙢. I think that'll look okay. And then I'm going to take this brush that's stained with another shade, and we're going to pick up 𝙤𝙢, and we're going to buff this out. I don't know. This is probably going to look not good. Oh yeah, that's not my favorite. But we're here now. Okay, I think what will help this is if I take, not this, is if I take my powder concealer and then just clean up under the eyes, because this is looking tragic. It's looking very tragic. Like, I immediately don't hate it as much because I covered like half of it up. So there is that. Okay, so the bottom of my lower lash, or like the lower lash line, kind of reminds me, did you guys ever get those like snow cones from the ice cream, like the ice cream man, and like all of the colors melting together? That's kind of like the purpley blue that my under eyes look like right now. So very nostalgic, very nostalgic. I am going to take just a small brush and I'm going to try to tap 𝙤𝙢 a little bit more strategically in this area of my lower lash line. So hopefully it gives just a little more impact without being like weighty on my under eye. Okay, now that I have that, I'm going to take the same brush. I just kind of wiped it off on, I'm going to be shameless, I wiped it on my pants because we're wearing pajamas and you can't tell me anything. So I'm going to take a little bit more Punk Rock and we're going to tuck that on the other side and then just kind of feather these into each other in the middle. I did not like how it turned out before with blending them together, like intensely blending them together. So this is like how I'm gonna incorporate 𝙤𝙢 without making it look like I got punched in the eyeball. I don't hate that. I don't hate that. I am going to take the brush that had the red on it and I'm just going to lightly blend the edge of Punk Rock. Just very, very lightly. We're not adding product. There's probably a bit of red on the brush, but it's fine. And I'm strategically not bringing it into the blue because I don't want the blue to get like muddied out with the red. So I am going to take just the brush that I used with the powder concealer and just kind of tap and clean up the under eye, not trying to eliminate what we've done, really just trying to like clean up the under eye area. That's not like terrible. It's not my best that I've done, but it is what it is. Then the last thing I'm going to do is take the shade that you can barely see right there. That is ColourPop Tickled. This is such a light, flaky, no, oh gosh, not really pigmented eyeshadow. So I feel like I have to pile it on to make it actually look like something. It's kind of more of a topper shade, but if you keep layering it, it actually does look like something sometimes, eventually. Then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this brush that I've used to blend out and I'm just going to pick up a bit of Tickled, quite a bit because it's crumbly. We're going to tap it on the brow bone and then we're just going to feverishly blend this just to kind of get like a nice iridescent glow without being too much, you know? So I am going to do my lashes and everything and I'll be right back. Okay, so that is it. This is the finished look with using my Fantasy Self palette as a palette bingo. Again, I think I did a pretty good job kind of getting a cohesive look. Now, this is not a revolutionary, like, oh my gosh, you're so brave for this look. No, this is like a pretty boring look. I actually feel like this is a pretty Valentine's-ish appropriate kind of look. Perfect for February with like that purple red and then going into like the red. I kind of like the idea of using Dryad as like an accent right there. However, it's not a color. I don't really like wearing a lot of blues on the lower lash line. Same thing with purples, just because I have very like pronounced blue purple under eye bags. So for me, it's something that I'm very weary about, but I think it turned out really well. I really appreciated using my Well Rested to clean up the area. But yeah, let me know what you would have done with this color story. Let me know if you have any shades that are total fantasy self shades that you're like, I objectively like them when I look at the colors, but I don't wear them. There's been a couple revelations in my head of shades that I'm like, I like it, but I would never wear it. So I have an idea of some items that I'm going to add to my fantasy self list. So when Hayleigh and I need to choose items, maybe she'll pick those, maybe I'll pick those, kind of thing. But yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys are staying healthy, sane, and safe, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye!